Welcome back. In this video, we see how to add virtual ownership when a model does not exist. So how to create a new model. For that, let's travel to the add product page. And here we go on this add new product. In this video, we are going to look at process number 3, and which is adding a model and then creating a virtual ownership. So we are going to look at this process 3, which is shown here. Let me clarify. So we are going to go here and we are going to look at this process. So we go to the add product screen and then create a new model and then generate the code and then claim ownership. So let's look at this process. So when adding new models, we may sometimes need to add new categories and new manufacturers also. So let's look at the use case. So a user goes to the add product screen, and the first case is a category does not exist, but the manufacturer exists. For example, category phone does not exist, but the manufacturer Apple making category laptop exists. In this case, the model iPhone 11 does not exist because iPhone model is a combination of the category and manufacturer. So in this case, the model does not exist. Let's look at the second use case where the category exists, but the manufacturer does not exist. For example, the category phone exists, but the manufacturer Apple does not exist. Even in this case, the model iPhone 11, which we want to create virtual ownership for, does not exist. Now, let's look at the third case where the category and manufacturer exist. So category phone exists, manufacturer Apple exists, but the model iPhone 11 does not exist. Now, let's look at another case when both do not exist. The category does not exist, the manufacturer does not exist. So the category phone does not exist, the manufacturer Apple does not exist. And again here, the model iPhone does not exist. So as you can see, in all possibilities, the model does not exist. So our focus is creating a model because model is what specifications are tied to, and that is the granularity of the product you own. So in all four cases, a model does not exist. So let's see how we are going to create perhaps a new category, perhaps a new manufacturer, but definitely always a new model. So as mentioned earlier, we went through the add product screen and we selected option 3. So option 1 was have a pre-registered GEOOWN virtual ownership card where the manufacturer has pre-registered. Option 2 was in this add new product. We had two options where a model existed. Now we come to the third use case where a model does not exist, and perhaps the manufacturer and the category also does not exist. So let's look at creating all, but in this case, the category phone or mobile exists here. So mobile exists as a category, and Apple iPhone is a mobile phone. So it belongs to this category. So we need not create this category new. Just a tip on creating categories. When you create a category, you need to create it at the granular level. So it has to be something which is really granular. For example, if you are going to create smart watches, you could create it under electronics. So what you do is you say add new to electronics and create a category called smartwatches here. And you could add your Apple Watch or something by selecting this category. Now here you have created a category, and here you don't have a manufacturer associated with the category. So try to search for this manufacturer. So if you search Apple, Apple is there as a manufacturer because it was added as a laptop. But if you search some other manufacturer, let's say smartwatches, could be a Swiss watch manufacturer. Let me just bring up a case. Let's see if a manufacturer which does not exist. Let's try to see if Garmin exists. Now, Garmin does not exist as a manufacturer. So we could add Garmin by clicking here. Whereas if you look at Apple, already exists as a manufacturer. So you just create an association between a smartwatch and Apple. That's it. And then, so Apple was registered in some other category. So now if you see here, if I go to this laptop, you would see Apple here. But Apple is not associated with a mobile phone because we have never registered an iPhone model here. So if you go here, you won't find Apple here associated with a mobile phone, but you have Samsung and Realme because they have models associated with a mobile. So Samsung has mobile uh, phones as models and Realme has mobile phones as model. But here, if you take Apple, you find Apple from the list of manufacturers. So here you can select an existing manufacturer and create an association with a mobile phone. So let's stick to the smartwatches first. Let's clear the smartwatches and then we come to this association of Apple. So we have taken this first case where we are going to add new to root, and we added smartwatches here. So we are going to select smartwatches, and this will go through a verification process. Any new category, new manufacturer, and new model you create goes through a review process to confirm that the model actually exists in the real world. And once that is verified, any number of users can come in and create their own copy of that model. Now we have selected smartwatches. Now we can select Apple as a manufacturer. So this is the case where a new category was created, an existing manufacturer was there. So let's just look at this case now. So we have this case. We are looking at the first case. Category did not exist. Smartwatches did not exist. So we created a new category, but the manufacturer existed. So we created an association between smartwatch as a new category and created it, and Apple making laptops existed. So we had association with that. So now we are saying that Apple also makes smartwatches. So we have covered this first case here. Now let's look at the other cases. So now we have created an association between smartwatch and Apple. And now let's select the model which we want to add as virtual own, owning. So let's look at these smartwatches, Apple 5. And this is the watch series, Apple 5 for smartwatches. And So this is the smartwatch series Apple 5, and we find out the model here. Now our model would be Apple Watch Series 5. So we select the model, and our model will definitely not be present because in this case, smartwatches as a category was not present. So we put here or we could call it Apple Watch 5. And here we add it as a new model. And then you put in the serial number of your Apple Watch 5 if you have bought one and say add. So we have covered the case where we have created a new category, an existing manufacturer, Apple, and a new model. And then we have added the serial number of that watch. Now let's look at a case where we select a existing category and then add a new manufacturer. So let's take perhaps a mobile, and let's see if we have manufacturers here. So right now it's only Samsung and Realme, and let's see if Apple is there. Apple is there as a manufacturer for smartwatches. So we want to add a new manufacturer here, which does not exist. So let's see if Lenovo exists. So Lenovo does not exist as a new manufacturer. So we are going to add Lenovo as a new manufacturer here. And then we are going to add a model for Lenovo. Now say you have bought a Lenovo K10 Note, K series model. So you look at this model, K10 Note phone, which is there. So it's Lenovo K10 Note smartphone. So let's add this as a new model. So we select the model and here we add Lenovo K10 Note as a new model. And then we add the IMEI number of the phone, which can be got by clicking *#06# on your Lenovo phone. So you add the IMEI number here. We are going to take a dummy IMEI number right now for demo. And a IMEI number is always these many characters long. 15 characters long, I think. And you can check up how much characters long a IMEI number would be. And it's 15 digits. So it has to be 15 digits, characters long. I may. Yeah, this is 15 digits. And so you confirm the IMEI number on your phone and add it. So in this case, we have taken a case where we added a new manufacturer. So the first case was where we added a new category and a manufacturer existed. In this case, we added a new manufacturer and a category existed. And we add this here. So manufacturer Lenovo was created new. Smartwatches was created as a product category. Now let's look at a case where we take both new product category and new manufacturer and then a new model. So we first took this case where we created a new category. Here we created a new manufacturer. Now we are thinking where we don't have a category or a manufacturer, but before that, let's take this case where a category and manufacturer exist and we create a new model. So let's look at this case and then go to the fourth case. Now here we are going to select a car model because we already have a category of cars and Toyota as a manufacturer, but we don't have Yaris as a model here. So we are going to add Yaris as a model. So here what we do is we select the cars category and we select the manufacturer, which is Toyota. And this association is already done because there is a model existing for Toyota, a model which is Prius Plus. So there is an association between cars and manufacturers because of this model. So now here we are going to add Yaris. And we click to add Yaris. And we enter our car's chassis number. So whatever your car's chassis number would be. And let's take as a dummy case. And we add this chassis number. Now we have three cases here. In the first case, there was no product category. We created a new one. The manufacturer existed, but the model did not exist. In the second case, we had mobile as a category, but the manufacturer Lenovo was not there, and the model Lenovo K10 Note was not there. So in the first case, we created a new category and a new model. In the second case, we created a new manufacturer and a new model. And in the third case, we had both these and we created this. Now let's try another case where we create where we don't have a category, manufacturer, and model. So we create all three. So let's actually we could take the smartwatches because that is a new category. We create a manufacturer for that smartwatches and then create a model for that. So let's try to figure out which smartwatch manufacturer is not there and add his model. So now we select this Garmin Forerunner 945 watch. So Garmin Forerunner 945 watch is on the higher side in cost among all the Garmin watches. So let's add this one, Forerunner 945. So what we do here is we select this category smartwatches. This is a new category. We select Garmin as a manufacturer, and Garmin is not there as a manufacturer. And we click here to add Garmin as a manufacturer. And then we select the model, which is Forerunner 945. And we add it. And then we enter the serial number of the Garmin model. And we are using this for demo. So this is a dummy number, but it's for a demo purpose. And we add it here. So now we have covered all the cases. So we have covered all these four cases where a category does not exist, but manufacturer exists, and model does not exist. Category exists, but manufacturer does not exist, but model and model does not exist. Then category and manufacturer exist, but model does not exist. And then category and manufacturer and model, all three do not exist. So we have covered all these three cases. Now let's add one more case where a model exists. So it means mandatorily a category and a manufacturer exist if a model exists. So let's add that case also. So we are going to now add an existing model here, and we are going to use cars model. We are going to select a manufacturer, Toyota, and then select an existing model, Prius Plus. And then we give it a serial number of our car and add it. Now let's look at these four possibilities which we have covered. The first possibility was product category was not there and model was not there. The second was, okay, on the first one, the manufacturer was there. In the second one, the product category was there, but the manufacturer was not there and the model was not there. In the third case, the car category was there and the manufacturer was there, but the model was not there. In the fourth case, none of these were there. So smartwatches was not there as a category, Garmin was not there as a manufacturer, and Forerunner was not there as a model. And finally, the last case is cars was there as a category, Toyota was there as a manufacturer, and Prius Plus was there as a model. Now let's try to generate virtual ownership codes for all these. So we have considered all the cases, and let's see what happens. So we have checked the data, we have checked the serial numbers, IMEI numbers for all this, the chassis number of the cars and so on. And then we generate GEOOWN identities for all three. Now, what happens is, for a model which is existing, a GEOOWN code is generated. So if you look at this, a GEOOWN code, a unique code is generated for a model which exists. For all the other three, there is a temporary code given which will go into a review process by a reviewer, and he would verify that a category like smartwatches is there, or a manufacturer like Lenovo is there, and also the Apple Watch 5 is there, and the Lenovo K10 Note is there. In this case, the Yaris model is there, and in the smartwatches case, the smartwatches of course is there. We verify both these at one time, and Garmin as a manufacturer is there, and Forerunner 945 is there. For this, there is no verification needed because this has already been verified as a category, manufacturer, and model. And that's why this GEOOWN code is generated automatically. So let's say there are 2 million Apple Watch users. Then the first person who generates a model will get a number 1 here in his virtual ownership code here. So he would get, this number would be the first number he gets here. So once it goes through the review process, it will be replaced by a GEOOWN ID, which is something similar to this, which reflects a category, manufacturer, and model, and the first of those, the model. So this is how you generate categories, manufacturers, model. Now you can add this to the cart, and you can only purchase tag for this one. The others are blanked out because till the GEOOWN code is not generated, or it's not confirmed for these, and it's not confirmed that a model indeed exists like these 4, the first, second, third, and fourth, and these. So once it is confirmed, these will have a actual GEOOWN ID. So right now we can't order tags for this. So let's go to the dashboard and see what products have been added. So these 4 products which are added, so we added this car which was an existing model, and it is physically owned, and it is still untagged. And here this is under review, so the tag for that is not decided. And once this review phase is done, you will have a actual GEOOWN number here. So it will replace this temporary number. So that's what you see here. So we have completed how we generate virtual ownership for models which do not exist, and if required, categories and manufacturers also if they do not exist. How do we generate that? Thank you.